Уважаемые зрители, всех приветствую. Продолжаем прохождение игры Enderal на сложности Мастер до первой смерти. Где я? Да. Как я сюда пришел? А? Странно. Что, сразу прям фов 90, что ли? Какой странный механизм.
Мастер.
Угу. Так, по весу нормально все относительно. Закрыто. Что такое? Хоть бы тапочки одел, что ли, не знаю.
Wait a moment. Was zum Henker, Bruder? Hast
So,
du
ja.
den Kodex vergessen? Zahl dein Bußgeld. Oder du zwingst mich etwas zu tun, was ich nicht tun will.
А, это типа то, что там одна монета штраф у меня.
Good choice. We're everywhere. Keep that in mind.
Что это? Да в смысле, я же заплатил. Там одна монета штраф был. Что это такое? Странно, в тюрьме сундук, короче, стоит. Еще и фазмалист есть. Да. А что, все, что ли?
What a surprise. Didn't think I'd ever see you again. I don't want to know. In other words, it's fine. The crowd was a bit disappointed, but technically, how about why? Because no, if he loses, he does. And now come on, don't give me that look. You earned a shitload of money in a very short time. Maybe you can come in a couple of moons or so.
Come to
The
bed.
dust has settled.
Talk to
But
Russia.
until then, forget about it.
You don't look like you belong here.
From the upper city, huh? You got guts walking around with all that stuff down.
Даже я не помню, как я пришел, короче.
My sir.
You're from the surface, aren't you? They say that Taylor Aranthale came back. Let's hope he knows who rules this place as well as...
Серебряный облак какой-то.
Eating the last penny right out your pocket.
Boring.
Приветствую на стену любимого. А что, видно, да? А у меня что-то его не видно, я вроде запустил, да, а что-то его вроде не видно. Приветствую, Руслан. Да наподобие Скарима.
May your path always be even.
Я же вас убил всех. Я ж тебе говорил, да. Надо не во время загрузки подъезжать. Не во время загрузки делать. А что такие ватные-то все? Ну скелет, ладно, дорогу, что вот такой слабый-то? Ах ты шайтан попал. О, какой-то овцебык получается. Так, ну и что такое-то? Так, ну портнусь в город, чего? Не знаю, посмотрим. 50 опыта. Че так мало-то мне? Так, ну что, портуюсь в город. Делать здесь нечего. Пойду по квесту, значит, по главному, чё.
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. Many of you may have heard it already. There's war in Kira. A group of honorless heretics who adorn themselves with the name of saints.
Fruit, walk blessed. Bread. From the oven. Treat.
Чё, включаю, да. Включаю главный квест.
Anything from friends. Huh? Can I help you?
Is it important?
Так, мне нужны башни мира до северное сердцеземье. Сейчас на изи побегу везде.
Greetings. Walk blessed. Sure. Where to?
Get away from there! Now!
Ты откуда здесь взялась-то? Клянусь
Like
жопой.
a prophet's ass. 1 second later, and I would have been scraping your remains off the floor. What in blazes are you doing here, anyway? Let's put it this way. I know how to hide when I don't want to be seen. And concerning the explosion, you stepped right into a Kiranian dust crystal. Get a little too close and wait a little too long, and you'll have your ass blown around your ears by an explosion that would put any cannon to shame. Lashiri? Oh my. The fellow really isn't one for names, is he? I'm Lashari, but never mind that. At least it proves you're not lying. Anyhow, I hope you're not the backup I asked for. I was hoping for someone more, impressive. No offense. Is that so? Indeed. You have some uncontrolled magic inside you. Very well. If Constantine insists, I will... But it'll have to wait, since I'm up to my neck in this shit, as you've probably noticed. Short version or long version? Which do you prefer? Fine. I suppose you already know that that is me, my assistant, 2 arcanists, and 4 keepers, are here to do research on, well, on something, which is exactly what we've done these past weeks. But, as I went upstairs to get something a couple hours ago, I suddenly heard screaming and the clanging of metal coming from downstairs. As I looked for cover, I saw these 2 shapes in red robes vanishing into the lower parts of the ruin. I have no idea who they are or why they're here, but to me, they look like mercenaries. Anyway, fact is, my esteemed Indralean colleagues and my assistant are still down there, together with our research, and I want them back. And before you ask, yes, you can help me. You'll have to, actually, if you want me to tame your magic. I wouldn't have a chance fighting the mercenaries by myself, but the 2 of us might be able to do it, provided you can defend yourself, which I'm quite sure you can. What do you say? Are you ready?
Давай.
Oh, that's hard to explain. But part of it is finding the answer to the universe. After we've cleaned up the mess, we can do this whole, who are you and what are you doing here thing if you want to. No idea. But I don't think there are more than a dozen. Also, they don't anticipate any resistance, which is to our advantage. Fine, then follow me. And keep your weapons ready. I think I just heard footsteps down there.
You were right. Get that.
Justified. Stabbed like a pig. Wait, hang on. What's this?
Что это? Где?
Prophet's ass.
Опять
I
клин
don't
в жопу.
believe it. They're orders. My assistant, Sev. It seems he's the reason these fuckers managed to take us by surprise. Save it for Sev when I shove this staff up his ass and fire a thunderbolt.
Опять она про жопу говорит.
Shit, can you smell that? That's fire. So, these guys really... We have to do something. You're adept. If I'm right, the mercenaries... I'll take the upper part. Oh, if you should find my assistant Sev down there, try to take him alive and bring him to me.
Огнетушитель.
I want to take care of him myself. Okay? Then let's get going.
Нам вверх или вниз, женщина? Понятно. Help me, говорит.
What are you waiting for? Help me, damn it! Put out the fire!
Что за головы здоров, Стас?
That was close. Those bastards just left me down here to die. Can you believe it? Despite everything I did.
Что такое-то, блин? Понятно, понятно. Что там? Что-то в новостях видел. Хамас напал на Израиль, что-то такое. Что там случилось-то? Да. Понятно. Слушай, а Хамас это террористическая организация какая-то? Или что за Хамас-то? Кто такие-то? Или это какие-то верующие люди? Ладно, забей, я потом почитаю после стрима.
That's what I call good timing. I take it you were successful? What about the fragments? Did you save them? All of them? Call me a pregnant Lyran. You really are good at what you do. You won't regret it, I swear.
А чё их не могут задавить, что ли, там всех
Did you
сразу?
find him? Fuck. The little shit. Well, whatever. No use crying over spilt milk, I guess. What's your name, anyway? Amidst all this, we didn't have time for... You're pleased? Well, that... I actually had the feeling that I was... Anyway, for starters, tell me how you managed to get the old ring. That doesn't happen very often. I've got time.
Да и РФ это не РФ, это как бы не важно, в том плане, что это же не в РФ они находятся. Просто, а что там, ну... Что этот конфликт не закончится никак? Израильский этот.
Fascinating, to say the least. And these visions, if I understand correctly, you foresaw the death of the two apothecary? It does indeed. But hey, who am I to judge? Here
Не,
you
понятно.
are,
А чё,
stranger who appeared out of thin air
нельзя же
and
там
without much
помириться,
fuss took out
блин?
an entire group of sellswords.
Из-за чего там эта война
And
началась-то
even
вообще?
better, now you tell me that these skills come from studying magic for only a couple of weeks, and that you can see
Из-за
the
спорной
future.
территории,
You
да, типа
certainly are
того.
full of
Так можно было бы сделать как-нибудь там, не знаю, типа там неделю вашим, неделю нашим, там, святыни там, или из-за чего там?
Not you, sorry. I mean, I just had a strange thought. But no, that would be crazy. Way too unlikely. Well, I'd like to speak freely, but I'm bound to my agreement with the Holy Order. However, I will tell Constantine and old Aranthiel about my theory. And you... then we'll be in a position to really kick ass. Anyway, hold still for a moment. Ready? All right, let's do this. Don't worry, it'll just tickle a bit.
много щекотно.
Are you all right? That wasn't on purpose. Really. Oh my, you really do look terrible. I will make this right, I promise. I have no idea what just happened. The ritual isn't exactly harmless, but normally you shouldn't feel more than a weak tickle at most, regardless of how it goes down. But, maybe this has something to do with the strangeness of your aura. I already said this, but it's so different. It's hard to explain. Somehow complex and cold, maybe. But hey, I'm probably just out of practice. It worked, and that's what matters. Your fever will now settle down to an endurable level, and maybe even vanish if you're careful. And now, I suggest you return to Constantine. I will get the stones to safety in the meantime.
Как только мы вводим войска, чтобы закончить все, мир начинает вонять, мол, мы убиваем мирных палестинцев. А что, не могут так сделать, что ли?
Need anything else? If not, see you later. We're going to meet again. I can feel it.
Или типа Израиль не любит палестинцев? А чё, любить, не любить, какая разница?
Well, put simply, they're supposed to protect us. But old Aranthiel will tell you more about it later. Take care.
Так, а что она сказала? Мне теперь будет лихорадка более терпимей, да? Ну-ка, теперь, может быть, меньше стоит чародейскую лихорадку я получаю при исцелении. На 6%? А что-то она стало много хуже. Было 2%, а теперь стало 6%. 3%, а было 2%. Это она мне хуже сделала, эта женщина-то. С хирургической точностью. Понятно, понятно. Я не понял, она мне что, сделала хуже только что ли, эта женщина моя корабля? Теперь у меня хилка 3% отнимает лихорадки, а раньше было 2%.
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. A miracle has happened, a miracle that must have been, due to its sheer glory. Brought forth by malfeasance.
Hungry? I've got... Just what a weary traveler needs.
When he came, his house
Ты, Стас, во что играешь сейчас? В Диабло?
It just doesn't work, Master, no matter how hard I try. Yes.
What?
You. Good to see you.
Oh, you're here.
This is holy ground, Outlander.
No,
You do
the
not belong
Archmagister
here.
ordered me back.
Now, if it isn't the prodigy, well...
А это кто, типа Израиля пришел, что ли? В эту двухкомнатную квартиру? Я бы, конечно, не помирился, но, блин, не знаю. Конечно, я бы не помирился. Но если бы мне некуда было бы идти, да, я не знаю, я бы думал, что делать.
Oh, don't tell Lucy that. Altogether, it's her. Yuslan, me. Yuslan is probably the most gifted entropist of the civilized world. Yes, I know. She's already told me everything. Good work. Even though part of her report seemed to be a bit enthusiastic. But I'll leave the judgment to Aranthiel. He wants to talk to you anyway. Seems you've caught his interest. Didn't I tell you that already? He's the highly esteemed, holy Grand Master of the Order. Tilor Aranthiel, son of Lorius I, praised be his name.
А зачем вообще-то, ну, Израиль, типа, хочет на территорию Палестины вступить-то тогда? Короче, ладно, вы не надо мне не объяснять сейчас. Это я буду детские вопросы задавать тут, я лучше сам потом почитаю после стрима. Все это подноготную. А то мне своего геморроя здесь не хватает. Хочу еще другой поинтересоваться, залезть носом своим, поводить там.
In the Emporium, the last building on the left side of the temple. Ah yes, before I forget, my dame Lucy has left a token of gratitude for you. It's your choice.
Книгу, старую карту или кошель медику. Что за старая карта? Книга плюс 2 очка опыта что-то. Возьму карту.
Very well. Now get a move on. I'm sure we'll talk again
Карта
later.
сокровищ. Не понял, где она. Ага, понятно, понятно, все сразу стало.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here. Walk blessed.
Well met. Need something?
Просто скажи охране, что ты типа к нему. Охране вообще пофигу.
We need to find out who sent the mercenaries. This Pegast said that they were after the Signet Stone, and if they succeed in getting hold of it next time, then the Black Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
The cycle? Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Nerimese friends had.
The threat is real. Deny it as much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Ну как это говорится?
Tila, this, you're a commander, and
Типа одно к другому тянется.
But about facts. You have made this mistake before, Tilor, back then in Kira. And we all know
the mission will happen. I'm sorry.
You have a visitor.
So, you are the prodigy everyone is. I am Tilor Aranthia, son of Lorius I and Grandmaster of the Order. And yes, and I will come straight to the point. You are here because I believe that you are special. Humanity faces a threat that needs, among other things. I do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. You, however, have encountered it, as have I. I do. And I will explain everything to you. What it means.
Блин, дома дубак, короче. Вчера ходил в жилищник. Когда-то отопление типа включат. Говорят, отопление включили еще 5 дней назад. Но типа потихонечку трубы нагреваются. Трубы леденющие. У знакомого спросил в другом районе. У них типа трубы тепленькие. У меня вообще леденющие. Прослушал уже, может, пишет мне.
Formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Narasul won. He killed every single survivor.
Как начитаю, Стас, буду тебя террористом называть. Скажу, Стас террорист.
I still do not know why he spared me.
Не знаю, что там. Соседи обошел, тоже спросил у них тоже холодные.
There were circumstances favoring the development, but it's a long story which we won't discuss now.
Послезавтра уже ночью в Москве -2, короче. Даже послезавтра, сейчас посмотрю погоду, секундочку. Сейчас в данный момент 2 градуса на улице. Два градуса дождь. Да. А, не, во вторник -1, а было -2, уже поменяли на -1. Охренеть можно, дубак просто. Заморозить хотят. Газ отключили, блин, с нефтью. В Москве я живу, Сергей. Приветствую.
Good question. Because at the moment stability is the highest good.
Ночью из-под одеяла даже руку высовывать не хочется. Спишь, как этот бабушка, одно лицо видно. А у вас это где?
Ставрополь. It is unthinkable what would happen if we confirmed these rumors. I am sure you understand this. Maybe when all this is over, that will change. For now, it is imperative that we deny all rumors of that kind. Yes, after more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape
половины,
to
короче,
the
прослушал, что он тут не говорил, этот мужик.
I also had them for the first time. The dream.
А это вроде самый главный здесь у них. А я его прослушал. Да не, в Москве уже вчера дожди были, позавчера тоже дожди были, но меньше. Вчера было много дождей. Сегодня тоже дождь обещали, но пока еще нету. Холодно, холодно, прям капитально холодно.
At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me. Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead, an old monastery in the mountains. The others were aware of my identity, but for whatever reason they did not kill me. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant.
Не говори, Стас.
I do not know.
Слушай, а в Израиле снег бывает, не?
Even after my
Или там
recovery,
тепло?
the dreams continued. At first I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them.
Malphas's blessing.
And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others, magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about them, the stronger our suspicion grew.
Часто? А то бывает, он и в Африке бывает. Раз в 40 лет. Бывает, да. На Голландах? Я не знаю, что такое Голландия.
Dreams. They come from the same place. They are a shared memory. A collective subconscious. Yes. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images.
Понял.
So we went looking for answers.
Ну, в горах часто, в горах снег практически всегда лежит, если очень высокие горы.
3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Parians. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their
Эй, что это такое? А, я думал, провалиться.
Without any trace. And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle.
Честно говоря, игра как-то стала скучновато. Не знаю, из-за того, что герой, что ли, сильный стал.
Yes, it does. At first we considered it absurd, as probably, but there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves God, and then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but that is the question we need. Even though there was war in the Pyrean Empire, they tried, but they failed. Who knows why? Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well. Yes, the Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them. as are you. While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the
Да фиг его
prophet.
знает.
It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly. No, as I already said, the emissaries simply appear at the beginning of the end, like pieces on a chessboard. We are determined by our skills. How and to what end we use them is our choice. Yes, former enemies or not, both sides have understood the magnitude of the threat. I do not know. Firespark the mage, so maybe everyone can become an emissary. Or we simply... On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time. On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future. Your visions are a window into the past. And as every cycle is based on the same events, it is a window and you can feel the thread this world is woven with.
Во мужик, короче, закрутил тут рассказ.
That have happened and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help. That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait and die? Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our order.
А кто такой
And to do
Джо-Джо?
so,
Я
you
не знаю
have to
просто.
pass a test, a trial. It is. Whatever you think about our story, we are the only faction that is strong enough to oppose the cycle. If you want to be part of our mission, you need to have access to our knowledge and resources.
Знанием и ресурсами. Лучше не
There
знать.
will be voices in the order speaking against
Хорошо,
your
спасибо.
mission, as they are speaking against the presence of the Nerimese mages. Consider it
Я
an honor or a
раньше
necessity.
любопытный очень
It
был,
is up
а
to
теперь, если мне говорят, что меньше знаешь, крепче спишь, то так оно и есть.
It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission, and even though you have not been a novice, I want you to take it too. At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about your arrival. I have only a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both at the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you there. Ah, one more thing. It might be self-evident, but I do not believe you can do any. After the cycle has been stopped, we will deliver. No, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better.
Я сейчас типа буду к ним вступать, что ли? Голова болит уже поехала. А?
sir.
Месье, месье.
Yes? To do so little time.
Так, башня Мирада, границы Сердцеземья.
Walk blessed. Sure. Where to?
Я только проснулся недавно. На улице так пасмурно, что вот вроде и выспался, а как будто спать хочется уже. Как будто вечер уже, пора баюшки. Пора баюшки? Спячку на зимнюю залезать уже. Под одеяло.
Yes.
Да.
Oh, yes. You're the...
Ой, я стану хранителем.
I was expecting something else. I hope you're aware of what you're getting yourself into. Our novices trained for years for this trial. And as much as I respect the Grand Master, I think this is naive. In other words, it will be dangerous. Be aware of that. Oh, look at that. It's a bow. Then it seems I'm granted the extraordinary honor of exalting the first pathless in the history of the Order to a... Give me the package the Grandmaster gave you, and say hello to your new comrades. I have to go prepare something.
I don't want to hear it. You're prattling. I don't want to hear it. Just shove off.
Как пожелайте, принцесса.
Heretics. Get lost.
What? Oh, hello. You're our unexpected addition, aren't you? The prodigy? Interesting. I'm Kalia Sakaresh, by my path novice and aspirant to the first. I have been told what you did in Old Rashengrad, that you saved the excavations and fought back the mercenaries all on your own. An astonishing feat, truly. You have my respect for that. Well, as long as you handle it as well as you did in Old Rashengrad, that's not a bad thing, is it? You know, I'm really curious as to what the mercenaries thought they were doing. Someone willing to attack the Holy Order is either extremely... Anyway, it's been an honor to meet you in person. Let's talk later.
All right.
All right,
For the chatter, come here. Here. These potions will be necessary later, so be careful.
А что, почему мне вот эта баба сделала? Да, 3% стало. 4, 2. А, подожди. И, походу, из-за того, что она сильная здесь.
Them. Apart from that, it's still a few miles.
Да не, вон за лечение 6% сразу. Что-то не то случилось.
Ritual place. As you're all gifted with magic, the spores in the forest ahead will make you a little dizzy, but we won't stay for long. Any questions?
Да, я понял уже, походу. Но магия вроде стала больше процентов прибавлять. Вроде раньше было 2% за лечение, 2% прибавлялось, а теперь 6.
Long story. Simply put, they come from a special kind of mushroom that has infested this forest. And so, in case you're thinking about exploring further, take some magical protection and some ambrosia with you. Good. Stay close to me. Instead, you will be ashamed.
Как его зовут? Носитель чего? Носитель сигала Джорак.
Fascinating. I've read a lot about it, but never actually seen it.
Poor thing. My brothers and I have seen the border countless many times before. But I bet you know all about the Undercity's rat holes instead.
More of them.
И она приваливает мне в лицо.
I'm too old for this.
Штраф на вес? В смысле? А, вот эту лихорадку дебаф убрался у меня наконец-то. Нифига себе. Какая она молодец-то.
Wait, do you see that?
Ничего не
Yes,
вижу.
that man. What is he doing?
Who cares? He's probably just a traveler.
He shouldn't be
вон
here.
тот, что ли?
No merchant in his right mind would voluntarily travel through the Whispering Forest. We'll go take a look at him. Stay ready.
Это зомби какой-то.
I see it.
She's with me now, forever.
Kirush.
What? You there? Who are you? And what are you doing here?
She's with me now, forever.
What are you, deaf? Identify yourself.
His eyes. Master, this is the red madness.
Shit, of course. You will put away
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
pickaxe right now, my sir, and then get on your knees.
She wanted to leave. Don't you understand? She wanted to leave me. Just like that.
This is disgusting.
Придурок.
By the righteous past, have you lost your mind?
Could ask you the same thing, damn it. Did you forget what Magister Yarrow did to the novices? This man could have attacked us at any moment.
Oh, really? Malphas protect us from your cunning. But did the thought ever cross your mind that one needs to understand a disease in order to heal it? And that some apothecary might have given their left hand for a living patient?
You're not being fair, Master. I was only protecting us.
Like heck you did. You behaved like an idiot. And not for the first time. The other masters might ignore that fact due to your religious commitment and your bloodline. I get that. But if something like this ever happens again, you will be suspended from the rites and will spend the rest of your life polishing prayer banks in the sanctum. Do I make myself clear?
He really was trying to protect us, Master. Maybe...
Do I
Девчонка
make
добрая
myself
защищает его тоже.
clear?
Он придурок какой-то, да.
You do, Master. And I beg your forgiveness for my offense.
Granted. Now let's push on. We will take care of the body after the ritual.
Are you okay?
Just save it.
Просто заткнись, говорит. Куда они делись-то все? Я не понял, мы сорвал листочек, все пропали, блин. Это что такое? Куда они пошли-то все? Они же не могли так быстро убежать-то. Как-то я пропустил-то их. Офигеть можно. Что-то непонятно. Куда они делись-то? И маркера нету. Вон стоят, фу.
Well then, before we start, there's something I need to tell you. Something important. The rumors concerning the deaths of the Lightborn. They're true.
Рожденных светом. Что такие?
The gods are dead. They fell 2 winters ago beneath the sword of an unknown traveler. We, that is, the Order, have known about this for quite some time now, but haven't told the common people yet. But since the 3 of you intend to take the trial, there's no way to disguise the truth anymore.
But how can a god die?
There was a prophecy, as old as the Lightborn themselves, in which there was talk of a shadow god, who would end the era of gods. And it came true. I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You're telling us that the gods have been killed, and you are sorry. What's next? That tomorrow the sun will stop shining? Tell us that this is a test, Master. It is, isn't it? A test of our faith.
No, the Lightborn are dead. But, hard as it may be to accept, we cannot afford to fall into a spiritual
Who the heck is we? The Order of the Gods, Malthus's order, was created to protect the Lightborn. And if what you're saying, this blasphemy is true, then we're meaningless. We failed, don't you see that? Oh, by the Black Guardian, I just can't believe it.
And though I shan't be seen, thou shalt live by my virtue. 3rd Revelation, verse 137. I know it's hard, Dunmar, but if this is true, we have to show strength and keep on believing in what the Lightborn stood for, which is the idea of peace and...
Oh, just shut your mouth, Sakaresh. If anything, you lowborn scum are living proof that the Order is going downhill. Do you really think I don't know about the village? You're a damned witch, and if this were the old times, you would have been crucified long time ago.
You don't mean that, Dunmar.
Drop it, for heaven's sake. We're all on the same side here.
No, we are not.
Читаем просто, видишь?
Doesn't have any right to wear the white robes. And if you would spend
Слушай, у вас там в Пензе не холодно, нет? Отопление дали?
You would see it as well. But no, you just...
Shut up! I swear to you, one more word and you will wish that I just suspended you. But... no buts. Do you understand?
Yes.
I hope so, for your sake. Just be glad that this is a time when we need skilled mages more than ever. Just Be glad.
Понятно, понятно.
Now enough of this. Our demeanor defiles this sacred place.
В Москве
There will
тоже
be enough
дубище.
time for depression and personal crisis after the trial. Let's recite the holy words. Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor. In life as in death.
May your light guide me.
Good. As you know, this trial will test the fortitude of your spirit. Because this is what distinguishes a keeper from a soldier. What distinguishes a wise man from a fool. Keep that in mind. Now, drink the potion I gave you. You first, prodigy. Let's hope the Grand Master was right about you.
Что это, мы в камере, что ли?
Oh no. No. No, no. I knew I wouldn't be the last one. Did they also tell you the tales about the Keeper's spirit? They've lured you into a trap, you know. And you fell for it. Because you're arrogant. Just as I am. As I was. Of course not. At least not according to your definition of the word. But then again, what is if I told you that you and your friend Sirius actually lie dead at the bottom of the sea, and that everything that has happened so far, your journey to Ark, the search at the Sun Coast, was only a dream, would you be able to recognize the truth? The answer is no. Because you don't want to be dead. Therefore, your mind will do anything to make you believe this entire dream you've had was and is reality. Doesn't it? Tell me, what is time to the dead and dreaming anyway? The last second before the water floods into your lungs. The very last instant before it tears them apart. In your mind, it could be an eternity. A self-created sanctuary built from nothing but your wishes. But what's the point in talking anyway? You don't want to believe me. I'm tired of trying to make you. Now leave me alone, before we make the suppressor even angrier. He doesn't like words.
Да не, вряд ли.
He likes the silence.
Хватит во всем Москву винить.
What? They haven't told you about him? Oh, that's so typical. The suppressor. He's the
Хорошее мы, короче, от всех забираем, а плохое всем даем, да? Какие мы хорошие это, блин.
And he does it because he wants us to lose hope.
Москва это.
Believing. And oh no. No, not yet. It's too early to surrender. And isn't that what makes us human anyway?
А ты что не работаешь-то?
To hope. And to just keep on waiting for that one miracle that will end the pain once and for all. Yeah, I'll wait. And you will wait with me forever.
Сбегите из этого странного места.
What the? How did you do that? You simply opened it? But that's impossible. Come on. We have to look. We have to look and see what's outside. We won't get...
Что это? Призраки. Ух, призрак реально. Грибочки это есть. Слышите? А, так у меня нож есть. О, понятно. А там одна игра, блин, я что-то не знаю, я первый раз опрос это сделал. Мне это опрос не видно, короче. Там вообще триггер создавал опрос. Какая? Блин, где-то грибочек есть. Ну, вышла, которая, не знаю, месяц назад, что ли, игра. Starfield. Наподобие Fallout 4. Наверное. Конечно, ее. Чуть не пойму, где гриб-то? С 10 голосов лидирует Флаут. Лидирует Флаут 70%. Приветствую, вольный сталкер. Давайте прислушаемся к тишине. Что на самом деле движет тобой? Кто ты? Кем ты являешься? С момента своего прибытия в Эндерал. Теперь ты противоположность тому, кем ты являешься на самом деле. В тебе есть рассудительность, сила, могущество, значимость. А если коротко, ты прорицатель какой-то. У тебя получилось сочинить рассказ для себя. Сказку о том, кем ты хочешь быть. И тебе удалось найти тех людей, которые подтвердят это. Это самая важная вещь, не так ли? Тебе удалось найти того, кто верит в твою сказку. Разве ты не понимаешь? Ты просто ошибаешься. Все, что касается тебя, ошибка. Ты жалкий человек, ты знаешь, чтобы Сириус сказал об этом. Да, к этому. Да, да. Ну, майор вроде не заходит практически уже.
So cold. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to go out. After all, I mean, yeah. Yes, the cell.
А я, честно говоря, даже результаты не вижу. Голосов. А, во, вижу теперь. Да, Starfield 30%, Горизонт 70%, а Mountain Blade 0%. Офигеть можно. Да, да.
At least it's safe.
Не, ну там же за это время много чего нового, наверное, ввели. Mountain Blade. Ну это типа как Нью-Вегас, это вроде третья часть Флаута. Флаут 4 четвертая. Похожи, похожи. Механики похожи. Что за место такое? Паника. Безысходность. Отчаяние. Моментально умирают. Не, я захожу, смотрю где-то примерно раз в недельку про Джегетарианс. Там делают моды, но пока такого прям супер значительного вроде не было ничего.
Haven't we been here before? By the gods, everything here looks so similar. It's a damn maze. Oh really? We should never have left. This will be our doom.
А почему я твою розочку вижу? Странно, блин. То я вижу картинки, то не вижу картинки.
Oh no. No. Do you see it? All the cells. They're all empty. Oh no. There were people in there just like us. They didn't know their place either, and now they're dead.
То есть он на любимого сейчас что-то написал, я не вижу ничего. У меня пусто. Выросло как пусто. Где вебка? Здесь стоит у меня. Не знаю. По-моему, ты в прошлый раз задавал вопрос. Или кто-то задавал уже. Про Андрюху любимого. Да, я тоже задавал. Настена его не знает. Все может быть, все может быть. Но вроде как нет. Ничего не понял, что мы сделали. Это опять сел сюда.
What? Suppresses punishment. It will be horrible. No, you haven't. Because you're blind. The suppressor is here, in every single stone, in every bone. But I should have known. I mean, what can you expect from someone who has killed his entire family? I followed you because for a brief moment, you made me want to believe, and now you've dragged me into the abyss along with you. Of course I'm a part of you, and you are a part of me. Isn't that obvious? But I should have known you. No, there isn't. Just look at us. Look at what we are. We are the damned because we are trapped too deeply in the past. And that's why we do not deserve freedom.
Ты Дискорд когда будешь читать, Илюха? Я тебе написал там пару дней назад. Или даже больше. А ты даже не то, что не посмотрел, ты даже и не ответил, и не посмотрел, короче, вообще ничего не сделал. Даже не зашел в Дискорд. Почему? Почему ты что, ссышь, что ли? Что за мужик тут стоит?
Dawn is coming. Seek the first seer.
После стиральной машинки, после всего того, что было, у тебя еще страх остался. Я думал, ты себе там якуны сделал железными.
Suppresses punishment. It will be horrible.
Ой, не знаю, не знаю.
Well, well. So you figured it out? Yes. I am what keeps you in this place. Was it blind rage that made you act, or have you truly understood who I am? Have you understood what drives you and determines your actions? The salt corrodes your skin, and the water filling your lungs. you still haven't found it, child, have you?
Нет, нет. Если победит то, что мне не нравится, я удалю вопрос. Так у нас перс похож на этого чувака, на Джеспара.
How are you feeling? Good question. The room was empty when I came here. Actually, that's quite weird now that you mention it. The entire temple seemed kind of deserted. Bit, probably a ceremony or something like that. Now, tell me, how are you holding up? I heard this trial's quite the feat. Apparently, some of the novices never wake up again.
Что, Игорь?
In the temple, the curarium to be precise. You were brought here when you were traveling with that Ixen guy. I think the others are already awake, but I didn't want to leave you here, so I thought I'd just stay. I mean, hey, you are a keeper of the first sigil now, aren't you? I believe congratulations are in order. Everyone knows about Ixen, and the fact that you're asking this shows how little you actually understood. You're pathetic, you know that? Simply pathetic.
Не смотрел еще.
I said you are pathetic. At first we believed it would be more exciting this time. But now that we've seen the new prophet, our hopes are gone. You're a joke.
A nobody who let his only friend kick the bucket.
As if you'd ever accept that. You humans are always so damn persistent, aren't you? Why? Why can't you just...
А это мой друг с начала игры, что ли, который был в начале игры?
And you are powerless, just as all those before you. And you, prophet, you are the biggest joke of all.
You are nothing but an urchin.
A weakling.
And a murderer.
And that is why you will burn. All of you. The cleansing will happen, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Is that so? Such presumption from a fish who thinks his pond to be the world. The world is an interplay of cause and effect, and the only logical consequence of your existence is annihilation. That's the way it was, and that's the way it's going to be. But enough of the banter, urchin. We wanted to meet you, and so we did, even though the result is rather sobering. Now wake up. Keep on stumbling through the mist.
Thank Malphus. I was starting to think I was the only one. How are you? You look exhausted. Of course, sorry. That remark was a little redundant. But it's good to see the Grand Master was right after all. I woke up just a few hours earlier, and he was here in the meantime. He didn't doubt for a single second that you would make it. But I suppose mutual congratulations are in order. We made it. We passed the trial.
Что-то замудрили, я что-то... Это все глюки были, а что там говорили, блин?
Almost, yes. All that is left to do is to take the oath, and then Grandmaster Aranthiel will exalt us to the keepers of the first sigil. Speaking of whom, he also told me some things while you were asleep. About the Pyreans, about these dreams, and of course about this cycle. This is so bizarre, really. At first we're told out of nowhere that the gods have died, and now humanity is on the brink of extinction. This is a lot to take in.
Калия Сакареш.
Hard to say. I never had those dreams the Grandmaster talked about, even though I'm magically gifted. But then again, I always had the feeling that the Red Madness was more than an ordinary disease. Well, I suppose all of this explains a lot. At least now I can understand why the Grandmaster was willing to break all the traditions of the Order just to get you exalted to be a keeper. According to him, most of our battle against the cycle will stand or fall with you. Yes, I believe that. It's a great responsibility you've been given. Well, as I said, we both have to take the Holy Oath. You should talk to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready. Right. Dunwar. The apothecary examined him about an hour ago, and it doesn't look good. It's likely that he'll never wake up again.
Понятно, понятно.
No, in spite of everything. You know, Dunwar was one of those people who tried to gild their insecurity with boastful behavior. The reality is that he was the last of his bloodline, and his faith in the path and his destiny as a keeper were all that he had left. And who knows? Maybe he would have been a great help to the Order with the right guidance. But I guess Master Bartar's revelation was just too much for him. It's hard to be told that everything you've lived for was a lie.
В смысле персонаж? Что это такое персонаж?
Well, maybe I just don't show it as much. But yes, in a way, you're probably right. I suppose that's mainly due to the fact that to me, as opposed to Dunwar, the Order always stood for an idea. And an idea doesn't die with the one who first thought of it. Funny that the Grandmaster said nearly the same thing during the exaltation. Dunwar would have considered it blasphemy. That's true. A lot of crimes were committed during the Lightborn's reign, and I don't want to minimize them. Imagine you're the king of a small island. The invasion catches you completely off guard, and within a few hours, the Reavers have advanced to the farm. Will you use the time that remains to entrench your army, or do you send them into the field to fight the Reavers there, knowing that there is only a slight chance to save the farmers, but a big risk that you will lose both the city and the farmers? Correct. What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter what you do. There will be people who will despise you for your decision. If your attempt to rescue the farmers fails, you will be accused of having acted blindly and idealistically. And if you just stay in the city, they will say you didn't even try. Of course, there's a small chance the foray might work, but should decisions like that really be made as if they were roll of dice? As I said, I don't mean to absolve the Lightborn of their crimes, but I'd wager my left hand that they had a lot of similar decisions to make. I knew the question would come eventually. I suppose the answer depends on whether you're in the mood for some gloomy talk. Sooner or later you'll hear it from someone else anyway, so why not from me first? Alright then.
Прямо сейчас задание компаньона было провалено. Потому что вы слишком долго ждали. Несмотря на то, что это не вызовет никакого эффекта на главный сюжет, вы больше не сможете раскрыть сюжетную линию с этим персонажем. Господи, один раз я не угодил. Один раз всего лишь. Столько раз угодил, один раз не угодил, и что-то все обосрался. Прикольно.
Yes. Actually, it was almost sad to see, if you can call that living.
Что делать, что делать?
You should. It's already late, but if you want, I can show you the most important places in the temple before you go to the Emporium. What do you think?
Да, стряк, Илюха.
Good. Then get your gear from the chest by your bed and we'll go.
Чё, Игорь, там беда случилась?
Let's go.
Но мне выглядит понятно. Что такое? А, исцеляющий алтарь, понятно. Реально странно. Один раз я что-то ответил неодобрительно, и все.
All right. This is the sanctum. It's a place of silence and prayer, and also where we'll be exalted later.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead? Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon.
Да.
Greetings.
Okay, I think you've seen this place before. We call this part of the temple the Chronicum, and in here is gathered the knowledge of the Order, written down in books and parchments. Plus, all of the experiments and research on artifacts and magic is done here. So it's a place you'll probably see often in the future. Ah, and just below the Chronicum is the temple smithy. You should go there if you need equipment. Over there, that's the Scuola and the quarters, where both the keepers and the novices live. There's also a training room where everything from swordplay to marksmanship can be trained and taught. You will find some skilled teachers there. Well, I think that's about it. You've already been to the Emporium, and I assume to the Eye of the Gods as well. I suggest you speak to the Grand Master as soon as you're ready to take the oath. Prepare myself, probably. Now walk blessed. I will see you soon.
Так, давай вначале вот это сделаем. Не знаю, там же вроде была вот эта фиолетовая чувиха. Забыл, раз зовут это. У которых там вроде бы пресс один. У которых типа один пол. Забыл, как их звали там.
Never mind. What is it? Called you? What do you mean? Did he send a messenger? Psionics. Figures. No, it wasn't. He must have planted it in your head while you... No idea. You'll see what this is all about then. Correct. And, thank you for filling me in on this.
Ой, сталкер, даже не знаю, что ты написал такое. Делал один квест, в итоге опять начал другой делать. Мне еще надо будет отойти скоро ненадолго. Поэтому буду стрим на 2 части разбивать. Постучать, смотрите.
Stupid shit. All of them. Observe. Observe.
You? I thought my instructions were clear. Wait until you hear a dream. That? Oh, I understand. Then go see Brother Sorrow at once and tell him the same thing. He will lead you to the Father. It doesn't matter. That is correct. Which is why I hope that you realize how great an honor this is. Go up to the tower, deeper into the mountain. At the end of the hallway, you'll find stairs ending in a wall. Now go. The Father must not be kept waiting.
Ух ты, боже мой. Сектанты, вы что тут? Ай-яй-яй-яй-яй. Куда я попался?
No. Go. I understand. You may pass. Descend. You'll see. No.
Я тут был уже.
So you received my message. Good. Come, take a seat. I will be with you in a moment. to finally meet you in person.
Что с его лицом, не пойму.
Introduce myself to you, but you already know who I am.
Эй! Понятно, маска.
Well, you are not the first person. Say that. The first seer has already told me about you. He said that you and Brother Wrath recovered the lost pages, and also that you are, how should I say, unusual. He did not lie, as I see now. You do indeed have something peculiar about you. Tell me, how do you feel about Brother Wrath, Farrell, as you call him? Well, do you feel sympathy, antipathy, affection, hatred, or maybe even a connection of sorts?
Блин, тут нет варианта, который мне... Ничего определенного сказать не могу. Да.
I see. Be that as it may, the first seer had nothing but praise for you, and suggested that I consider you for our expedition. And I have, provided that you are still interested.
Что за экспедиция-то хоть куда?
Good to hear. The formalities first. You will receive 250 pennies in advance, and another 250 if the mission turns out to be a success. A generous pay, as you no doubt realize. I assume you know that it will be dangerous. Nonetheless, I would like you to understand the background of this undertaking fully if you are to work with us. Come. I present the human body, a simulacrum. It's not. As I said, I want you to understand. Does the name Manit Dal'Galang sound familiar to you? The man who left his body. He was one of the former Grand Masters of the Order, a righteous man, but also of a very reclusive nature. It is said that Dal'Galang had always been a little peculiar. In the few records that are left of him, he once described how he never felt as though he belonged in this world. Thus, he made freeing himself from this sense of estrangement his purpose in life.
О, грузит-то.
Yes, as though life was a bad play that his body was forced to take part in. Dal'Galang despised all the other things people enjoyed. He didn't copulate, ate only as much as his body needed, and slept very little. Well, one day he vanished, just like that, in the bright light of day, during one of his meditations at the Eye of the Gods. Even though there were observers, the Order didn't record his vanishing in the chronicles for obvious reasons. According to them, Dal'Galang simply disappeared on a pilgrimage. I believe so. He succeeded in freeing his spirit from the vessel of his body, and the strange occurrences that happened after confirm my theory. His mother, for example, insisted that he visited her in spectral form at the death feast, and told her that he was sorry. His servant, who was the closest thing Dal'Galang had to a friend, heard his voice when he laid down flowers at his pathstone. Or the keepers, who saw a ghost meditating in his former laboratory at night. All coincidences or phantasms, you may say, but to me, it is clear that Dal'Galang achieved his goal. He managed to separate his soul from his body. He achieved transcendence. I suppose you could say that, yes. Dal'Galang was among the first humans to realize how misguided we are and how little of our potential we actually use. When I first heard his story, I instantly recognized myself in him. In particular, his fascination with the idea of overcoming our fleshly nature. I was enthralled and made this idea the purpose of my life, which finally led me to found the Relata. Frankly, I still find it baffling how few people share this quest. All they care about is the satisfaction of their carnal desires. They are so proud of what separates them from and all it would take to show them what their minds are capable of would, well, are we not free? We can have our bodies take on every shape there is, and time and space are meaningless. Imagine having this kind of freedom. Exactly, and that's where you come in. As it turns out, the secret to transcendence was hidden in the lost pages of J.L. Tannisson's book, where he describes his initiation ritual in the room of painting. That is... But I have had the pleasure of talking to some of them over the centuries, and was able to convince them to divulge their secrets to me. It's not some kind of room. The room of paintings is a force of nature, one that has the power to change you in a way. Either way, I will spare you the details. What you need to know is that we believe the room of paintings to be inside a temple we excavated over the past years. And that is what this expedition is about, where we will finally sever our minds from our bodies. Correct. It will prevail. Only the Relaim who have proven themselves worthy will ascend with me. The rest of them will stay behind with the first seer. Then, when the time comes, they will follow us. No. First, because I have reason to believe that the weak-willed among us wouldn't survive the separation. Second, because our teachings are too important to risk them getting lost. Someone needs to continue spreading our faith. What it is or who built it up, and by ancient, I mean one that existed. The Black Libra, the cult the Butcher of Orc belong. In the Frost-Cliffed Mountains, that's where you will go. They could, but the temple is dangerous. Only if you let them eat you. According to my research, 4 groups need to enter the temple simultaneously. Once you found the temple, your mission will be considered a success, and as soon as possible. Since you've already... Do you have a map? Good. This is where you'll find the site. You will.
Офигеть можно. Да. Морозный утес, это же крутая локация, не? Так, ладненько, у меня сейчас закончится стрим. Да. Уйду, приду и продолжу. Так что всем счастливо, всем до встречи. О, победил Маунтин Блэк, кстати. Ты там был. Ну, я понял, что я там был. В морозных утесах. Все, всем до встречи.